All. Hope you're doing great. We'll start for today. Let me check the. So user exit, IDD is done, logging is done. Big topic that is left is safe and hierarchy manager, and these are all small topics. What we'll do
Hey,
is,
before we go ahead, can I ask a couple of questions?
yeah,
I have. See, I mean, what is this BDD? Just when you're
BDD,
typing.
IDD both are same. So if you go here, then you type like this BDD, right? BDD is nothing but IDD only. In earlier version, this was called as BDD, means Business Data Director. When Informatica took over this company, they renamed it to IDD. So it's Informatica Data Director. Okay.
Okay, so I mean, another question is how many in real time? How many applications will be created? Like
There will be
across the
only
business
one
users.
application. There may be test applications. Test applications might be there, but application there will be only one application.
Okay.
Okay, at most normally from my experience there's only one you will see. Sometimes people what they will do is they'll create an application called as underscore test or something. This will be there, but they will never expose this to the user. So for the user it doesn't matter if this is there or not.
Okay. So I mean, for the business user will be giving access of this application.
Business users, even if let's say there are two applications, one is for test, another is for in I'm talking about in production. Some people also some project they create something like test for temporary purpose, and then there will be one, let's say prototype this application or something. Then this application you will provide access to the business users. So business users will never know that something like underscore test exists. Okay.
So the business users will enter the data whenever they require instead of sending to the through the source file and all those things.
Yeah, business users can do like insert, update, match, merge, like merge, unmerge, those kind of things they can do. Okay.
Okay. So this, I mean, another question is like you said some couple last previous class, like the application server logs and cleanliness. It is it like in a monitor in the same like in Power Center?
In Power Center, the only difference is the log is like session log, workflow logs, right? If I remember.
Yes.
There is also
Yeah.
a common log, but that's not of much use. But here the problem is there is no individual log much. So here everything is logged into a common file. That's the application server log. So if you something failed, you have to check it. You have to check that in the application server log, which will be a common log file.
Okay. So, for example, in Power Center, we can find out the where the error has occurred and I mean,
Here also you can
the
find
even
out.
the
The only thing is that this is a common log file. So you need to find your job, like where your mapping or whatever you executed, where is that in your log file. So for example, if you check this log file, then first of all you need to find where is your job. Then you check the logs. Then it's normal, same as like Power Center. So let's say to identify the job, you can check on the date, or you can also check on the mapping name. So you can search the job name, mapping name, or the table name and do it. So you can see it's a common log file because there is almost like 46,000 lines are there.
so how many jobs are created? Those total jobs will be available in this application settlement.
How many jobs? As many as, like, there is no limitation. You can create like whatever number of jobs you create, like you create in
Those
the
jobs
sense you run,
will be available.
all will be logged in the same file.
Okay.
Log file is a common.
Interesting. Thank you.
Okay. For example, see, the logic is very simple. If I go here and let's say if I go staging, let's say if I run this, okay, if I run it, you can see here it's asking me to refresh. If I say yes, then in the end you will see the logs for the job that I executed. See here, it will be somewhere over here. Go to the end. Yeah, you first identify, otherwise what you can do, you can copy paste this log file, this log information to another text and then check it there. Okay, I think it starts somewhere over here. Yeah, start of the batch job. So this to this till end.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
right. Now I'm getting a lot of disturbance. I'll mute everyone. Okay, so we can start with JMSQ and repository manager. Is it done or it's not done? I'm not, don't remember exactly. Can someone confirm if repository manager was done? Okay, fine. I think it's not done.
No, it's not done, Sunil.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, let's go through the JMSQ. Okay, hierarchy. I'll cover it in a single. It's a bit boring, so even I'll cover it in the end because it's slightly boring. JMSQ. JMSQ. Okay, see here. Now, when we talk about these two things are related. So what we'll do is, okay, let's do it this way. I think I will change the order like this. I think this is better. First Civ, then this. This is a better order. Okay. Why Civ first, then JMSQ? Let's see. So see, source system, ETL, MDM, ETL, target system, right? This is the interface in the batch mode. In the batch mode, this will be the situation, right? Now in case of a real-time mode, in case of real-time mode, I have SRC, then I have CIF, then I have MDM, then I have message queue, then I have target. That's how real-time implementation is done. The inbound uses CIF, the outbound uses the message queues. Inbound CIF, outbound message queues, right? Now that's why CIF should come first, then the message queues. Doesn't matter, but let's go through the CIF first. CIF. So now you know the definition of CIF. CIF is something that is used for real-time integration, or you can say it acts as a gap between the source and the MDM system. Or frankly speaking, let's directly jump into technical details. In technical details, what exactly is CIF? See here, I'll show you that. Let's say if I go here, schema, and let's say take a log, right click. Before that, 1 second, 1 minute. Okay, let's say if I right click, say add item, say demo, enter. Let me check the logs now. Application server logs, you can delete this too. Okay, all right, go to the end. The table got created, right? Yeah, it got created. Let me close this one. Okay, so reload yes. Just identify your thing. You can see here it's starting here. It's creating the tables. I'm just trying to check the starting. That is the headache with this. You have to check it like this manually. Otherwise, you can also search like this. Uh, Demo. This also you can do. Yeah, see here. This line is important. Okay. So what is happening is apply add base object. It means that when I'm trying to create a base object, so what I'm doing here, I'm going to the tool, I'm doing a right click, say add item, base object, right? So add item base object, then base object is getting created. So what is happening is this tool is making a call, and that name of the call is add base object. It's making a call called as add base object. Okay, this is nothing but it's a SIF call. This is nothing but a SIF call. It means that in this tool, whatever I do, Informatica, this tool will make a SIF call internally. So for example, if I create a landing table, if I create a package query, anything that I do in the tool, a SIF call will be made. So for example, let's say if I drop this, then you will see a different SIF call will be made. See here. So that was add base object. Now regarding the drop, you will see, let's check what is the, yeah, see here, go to the beginning, drop view, yeah, see here, can you see? Earlier it was add base object, now it is delete base object. Let's say if I go here and modify something, let's say if I um, let's say gender is not nullable, let it be because I don't want to change that. But let's say if I go here and create one more column, let's say test, save it, then you will see a third type of call will be made, that is called as modify base object. See here, not modify, add landing table column, right? And let's say if I go here and remove this, or let's say do some change, let's say this is 100, save that, then just check the log, where is that? Yeah, here it is doing it, but yeah, can you see this? Modify landing table column. It means that whatever I'm doing here, there is an equivalent SIF call for that. So what is happening? Informatica is making this tool is making a SIF call. This tool is making a SIF call to the MDM server, right? So if that is the case, how many SIF calls will be there total? Can you imagine how many SIF calls will be there? Approximately there will be like 1000 2000 different SIF calls, because there are thousands of operations that I can do. For everything there is a SIF call, right? For everything there is a SIF call. That's what is nothing but that is SIF. But see, for example, let's say I want to see now what is happening. Informatica is calling this modify landing table column. Informatica is calling. But what I want is I want to call that directly. I don't want to use this tool. I don't want to use this tool. Rather, using a different tool or different interface, I want to call this particular API, modify landing table column, right? Can I do that? No, I can't do it. Why? Because I don't know how to call. Because how to call it? Do I need to call it in Java, C++? Like how do I need to call this? Plus, how to call and what are the parameters you need to send? What are the parameters you need to send to this call? You have no idea, right? So you know that from the logs, it's doing the call, but you can't call it by yourself, right? So there are total almost like 1000 2000 SIF calls, but what Informatica has done is Informatica is exposing somewhere around 100 SIF calls directly to the user. So Informatica thinks that 2000 SIF calls are not necessary to the user. That is reserved for this tool. That is reserved for this tool, this 2000 SIF calls, right? So 2000 reserved for this tool. Now only Informatica, what it has done, only 100 SIF calls it is exposing to the user. Only 100 SIF calls it is exposing to the user, and that's what is actually called as SIF. That is called as SIF. Okay, this is also SIF, but when you say SIF, normally we are referring to this 100 calls. So you can't do everything using SIF, but only these 100 operations can be performed, right? Now how to call that? You can call it as a web service, right? For example, currently what is happening? Currently you have hub console, then you have SIF, then you have MDM server. This is what is happening currently, automatic process, right? Now to do real-time integration, let's say I have a SAP, like then SAP should call the SIF. SAP should call the SIF and then this to the MDM server. This is called as real-time integration. So if there is any change in SAP, let's say a new customer was created in SAP, then SAP will make a call to the SIF and SIF will make a call to the MDM server. Very simple logic. Okay, now I don't have SAP, so I can't show you that, but I'll try to simulate this. Simulate in the sense, what I'll do is there is a tool called as SOAP UI. So from SOAP UI, I'll try to make a connection to the MDM server. So in real time, this is how it is done. SAP will make a call to the SIF, but now using SOAP UI, I'll make a call to the SIF. If you understood, if you understand the third one, second one is the same logic only. Okay, but actually you will see there will be one more layer, that is the AI layer. This will also come into picture. AI is nothing but a middleware. So middleware will also come into picture because SAP will not directly SAP will not interact with SIF. It will do it using an AI like TIBCO, right? Let's try to understand this, some of these 100 APIs, because all of them are not important. Only some are important. Let's see how to invoke and how to use these APIs. So by default, SIF is configured. It means you don't have to do any special operation or something to enable SIF, right? So by default, it is configured. So what you need to do here is, you know this link. This is where the tool is available, right? So after that, request, then WSDL. This is the link where your SIF is available. Okay, you copy this link, then you open this SOAP tool. Okay, so by default it will be blank, so you go here, say new SOAP project, new SOAP project, then this one, just copy paste it. Whatever you have here, go and paste it here, right? And just say, let's say save 8 a.m., right? And just say okay. When you say okay, then you can see a lot of automatically this is coming. All of this, these, what are all this? These are nothing but different SIF APIs. All of them are one SIF API. Of course, they see, you know what are SIF APIs, like add base object, add landing table, modify column, add column, right? So every SIF has a different purpose. It does something unique. Similarly, we have this many APIs. Or to understand SIF in a better way, you can take this example like um, client. In case of a hotel, I'm telling you, this is in case of a restaurant. So client, then you have a waiter, then you have kitchen, right? So kitchen is nothing but MDM server, SIF is the waiter, and client is client, any of these three, right? So client has some requirement, he wants food, then he'll call the waiter, that's nothing but the SIF, and waiter will make a connection to the kitchen, and then it'll bring back the item, and then client will eat, right? That's the simple architecture. Here also the logic is same. SOAP UI or SAP, they will make a SIF call, then that SIF will connect to the server, do the job, and then return a message to the this tool, or this. All these three are actually same only, no difference. Okay, so these are the different. So in case of a hotel, you first, when you go there, then the waiter will give you a menu card. He'll give you a menu card. The menu card will contain like many different food items, like over 100, let's say 100 different items he'll give you, right? Then you will choose the item. So these are nothing but your 100 different food items. If this is coffee, then this is tea, this is lemon tea, something like that, right? If you want tea, then if that's your requirement, then you need to use this thing, right? Let's understand how to invoke one particular API. Let's pick the most basic one. The most basic one will be let's say get ORS list. It means that how many ORS I have? 1 2 3 4, almost 7 8, 7 8 ORSs I have, right? So using an external tool, get ORS list means it'll show me all the ORSs, right? First try to understand how to edit this message. So first of all, when I'm opening this, I'm seeing this request. What is this request? This is like a sample menu, sample request. For example, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, right? You go to Chinese restaurant, everything will be in Chinese and all that. You have no idea what is what. You have no idea, right? Then what you will do is you'll just look around. Let's say there is an Englishman sitting in another place, another table, and he has ordered something, and that looks good. He's ordered something. So if you don't know anything, you'll say that, okay, give me that menu. I mean, what that person has ordered, you give me that. That is nothing but this. So it's just a sample request. Don't think that if I just click this, the output will be, I'm getting an error. Okay, because this is not ready. You need to customize. right? So to customize it step by step, first thing is username password. So admin, that's the username password. Okay, and security payload, this is not necessary, so always remove that. So remove that, do not keep any spaces. ORS ID will give that. Then comes the ORS ID. ORS ID means which ORS you are trying to invoke. So let's say I want to connect to ORS sample, let's say. So if I have to connect to ORS sample, then this is the ORS ID or database ID. ORS ID or database ID. Copy that. Then give it here. What about interaction ID? Not needed. Remove it. What about this two? Not needed. Remove that. So always you need to do it like this. You need to remove the unnecessary things and use it. And this also I will remove it to make it very simple. Now I can invoke this. So if I go to this example once again, client, when let's John, okay, John goes to a waiter, the waiter hands him the menu. So then John decides that okay, I'm going to order and this is my menu, coffee with ice cream, let's say. Right? So then he hands over that order to him. So that is nothing but, so John has decided the order and he's going to place the order. So this is the placing button. So this is where you place the order. So what will happen if I click this? What will happen is this request will go to the MDM server, and then on the right hand side you'll get the response. So let's kick off. So here I go. On the right hand side I have the response. I have this ORS, this, you can see all the ORSs are displayed here. All the ORSs as well as ORS ID are displayed here, right? Very simple usage of a SIF operation. Okay, now that is get ORS list. So what I'll do now is, since this is common, I will just, let's say I will just copy paste till this, copy, paste it over here. Okay, right. So okay, so we have seen this SIF API that is called as get ORS list. Now let's see one more. Let's say that is even simpler one. Describe a Cyprian object. So go here, describe Cyprian object. What I'll do is I'll just copy paste till this. So till this I'll copy paste. Remember, be careful, be very careful. If you do a mistake, then, so I'm removing that, pasting it. Okay, I have to be careful. I need to replace this get ORS list with this one, right? So till this, either I can manually do it, you do it manually. Okay, so I have done it multiple times, so I'm doing it automatically. Then you describe, you give the name here. So let's say base underscore object dot c underscore party. Describe it. Here I go. So this is nothing but the same thing. Whatever you're seeing in the tool, whatever you're seeing in the tool, it is the same information here. Okay, same information. Simple logic, right? So describe Cyprian object. Now let me go from the top to bottom now, and let me go through the important APIs. So accept unmatched records as unique. This sounds popular. I think we know this, right? If you go here to the merge manager, let's say if I go to the merge manager, party, then you see this button, right? That is accept all records without a match. This is the same feature as this, no difference, same feature. How to invoke it? It's very simple. Okay, you copy paste till asynchronous and you change this to here, and I would like to base object dot c underscore party and assign true, let's say. Okay, count is 0 because there are no records to be accepted as unique. Okay, similarly I have many different SIF APIs. Okay, I'll go through this some of the important SIF APIs, and then we'll later see the usage of that, how to call them and all that. This you already know. Add relationship, same thing. Whatever you have in the hub console, adding the relationship, same thing. You will see most of the SIF API are useless because the same feature is there in your hub console tool. So why would I um, add a relationship here when I have a better, easier way? I can do it here, right? So add relationship, apply change list. This is related to your repository manager, which we'll see, and assign unmerged records. This is the same feature that is there in your merge manager. You can check it. This is about auditing. This is authenticate, can unmerge records. Before unmerging, check if you can unmerge the records or not. Cleanse. This is nothing but using a cleanse function. You have many cleanse functions, right? So calling any cleanse function. Okay. Then you have two things. You have cleanse put. Put. First of all, put means inserting a record. Put means inserting a record. For example, in IDD, Informatica Data Director, that we have seen yesterday. In IDD, when you insert a record, what happens? Does it go through the mapping? No, it does not go through the mapping, right? So that is called as put here. Put means directly insert a record without going through the mapping. Cleanse put means insert a record via the mapping. So it will go through the mapping. Okay. Then clean table. This is used to truncate base object. Truncate base object. And clear unassigned record, same thing. Then all are not important. This is related to repository manager. This is not necessary. This is related to active use only. It's not necessary normally. This is delete relationship. This is add relationship. So related. This one we have seen. And from this to this, it's all about from here till here. It's all about running the jobs. Clear? It's all about running the job. Okay, and that is nothing but uh, whatever you're doing in the batch viewer, all these jobs, that's what it is there. So normally you will not invoke most of them here because we can do it here, but there are some jobs like execute batch delete. You can't invoke this job in the hub console tool. Why not? Do you see anything called as delete job here? I don't see any delete job. So you can't invoke delete job here. To invoke delete job, you have to call this one only. So there are some job like execute batch delete, execute batch unmerge, execute batch delete and unmerge, and there is recalculate BO BVT. These jobs are unique to SIF. They are not there in the hub console. That we'll see. And flag for unmerge, sorry, auto merge, same feature is there in your uh, merge manager. Generate constraints and register index. Two APIs are related. Let's say you have a cross reference table, XREF table. Okay, in an XREF table, let's say you want to create an index. If you want to create an index, Then how do you do? Shall I go to the database and directly create? Don't do that, because if you do it, it will be invalid, right? So you have to do it using generate constraints, and there will be one API called as register custom index. Okay. Then get is used to read a record. There are two things to read a record: get and search query. So get and search query, these two APIs are used to read a record. What is the difference? Get is used to read a single record. Search query, you can read multiple records. Okay. Then this is about getting other details, like getting the lookup value, getting the merge history. So this, except get, most of them are not useful. There is something called as get trust score. So if you want to find the trust score of a particular record, then this is useful, get trust score. Okay. Then link. Link is not used anymore. It's there in the older version. Merge is for merging. Multi-merge is same thing, but you can merge more than two records here. Put, I've already mentioned. These two you can neglect, not use. And in fact, there are hundred APIs, but you just need to know somewhere around 5 to 10 APIs. How to use 5 to 10 APIs, that because they are only used regularly. Okay. Register custom index, and then remove match records, remove deleting data from the match table, then search query, then tokenization, but we don't use it here, then unmerge, and then these are related to the repository manager. Okay. Now let's invoke some important CIF APIs. uh, let's check the get. So the two most important CIF API is get, put, cleanse, put. These are the three important APIs. If you don't know about anything, if you just know these three, that's enough. Because if you're attending interview or something, or then they'll definitely ask you put, cleanse, put, get, and difference between put and cleanse, put. So first let's check these two. Normally this is never used. I just demonstrated because it's very simple. Get is slightly complex. Let's see how to invoke the get. So to invoke the get, go here, get, I will copy paste as usual. So here's till here, copy paste, and immediately you change this name to get. So change this to get. Done. Now what table you want to read? Let's say I want to read base object dot c underscore party. You can also give a package name. You can say that package dot package name. You can do it like that, package dot package name. Then this is not optional, so remove it, not necessary. Source key, all that thing, this is not necessary. Let's just read using the row ID. Let's say 780, and this is all not necessary, so I'll just remove that. I made it very simple. Let me invoke it. Okay, so the record is there. If the record is not there, so you'll get a message like no record found. Okay, if the record is there, then this is the record. The display name is Time Warner Entertainment Company. If you go in the database and check it, so C underscore party, 780, right? Okay, so this record, Time Warner Entertainment Company Limited. So Time Warner Entertainment Company Limited, right? That's how you use the get API. I'll save this. Save 8. Okay, that's the get API used to get a record. Now let's check this API. So let's check search query API, which is related to get only. Here you get read single record, here you read multiple records. Okay, search query will be below here. Search query, this one. Let's see how we can invoke this. I'll close this one. So copy paste again. Okay, now even I don't remember properly what I need to provide values here. What I'll do now, I will open this documentation, books, go to the SIF guide, open it, go to the end, go to SIF API reference SIF APIs. Just go there, and we are talking about search query API, right? So search query API, this one. Okay, so here I go. Informatica is giving a sample request here. You can use this knowledge, right? So what I need to give here, the object ID is nothing but the party. So this is nothing but my base underscore object dot c underscore party. Then see what is necessary, filter criteria and filter parameter. So filter criteria, filter parameter, so these are not necessary. I can just delete that. Filter criteria, it should be like table name dot column name c underscore party dot display name. I can just say like question mark, and that question mark I need to provide the value here. You can remove this stuff, not necessary. Okay, so string value I can give, let's say I will give like Linda query, something wrong. Okay, this one. So be careful. Now I'm getting with Linda I have how many records? This is one record, this is second record, this is third record, fourth record, fifth record. I have 5 records with the name Linda. You can confirm the same thing here. So where display name like Linda, 5 records, right? So I'm getting the 5 records here. So you understood the difference between get and search query. Multiple entries you will get in search query, right? Simple logic. That's what is the search query. Then we have something called as put, cleanse put. Both are used to create record. First let's see the put. So you can copy paste till this, go to put and place it here. Okay, and change this to put. Be careful. There should not be any case difference also. Okay, Then what I want to put, let's say I want to insert a record from CKR, and I would like to insert, so row ID object is not necessary, and let's say this is CKR 9011, and this is not necessary, all this is not necessary. Then the record key, so this is not necessary, remove that. Okay, the trust and all this junk stuff is not necessary, you can delete all that. Okay, all this is also not necessary, right? And I would like to insert a record into the base underscore object dot c underscore party. All right, now values, I like to give name, and the value is Sunil put. Okay, just invoke. Column name cannot be found, so this is actually display name. Now invoke. Okay, CKR is not a system, that's correct, because in ORS sample the system name is, let's say, SFA. So let's just give SFA, and let's say this is SFA. The SQL statement generated error cannot insert null into party type. So you must give values to the party type also. So what I'll do now, how to give values to the party type. You just copy this here, home, right? And this one should be the party type. And this is person, right? Then invoke. So here I go. A record was successfully inserted. And if I go and check it in the database, where the name is like what? Sunil. So here I go. This is my record. Sunil put. Okay. And if I do it again, it will be an update. Okay. Let's say insert you have seen. Let's say organization name. Let's say first name I'll update. So I need to specify value for that. Update and check it here. Here I go. First name Sunil. Updated. That's what is the put operation, right? Then let's see the cleanse put. In put, directly record is going. In cleanse put, it will go through the cleanse function. Sorry, it will go through the mapping. So I can copy paste till this. Ah, be careful. Okay, so pretty much the same. I can actually copy paste this. Where is the put? Okay, I think I can use this information. The field, three fields. Yeah, this one also I can copy paste. Okay, so go here. All right. Okay, generate source key, false, and system name is, let's say, CKR. Otherwise let me make this as true because I'm not giving a value here. and you can remove this. Okay, let me try to invoke. Okay, sorry, this should be cleanse put. Then invoke. C party has base object, but the type mapping is needed. Okay, yeah, this is important. Okay, see the Cyprian object, you can't specify the base object table name. You must specify the mapping name. That is the difference between put and cleanse put. So if I specify the mapping name, then mapping dot, see what is the mapping name? SFA party, SFA space party. So this you need to specify. Okay, and then invoke. Column name, display name cannot be found in the table CLD SFA customer. CLD SFA customer. Go here. CLD SFA customer. This one. So first name, full name. That's not display name. It's the, in the landing table it's the full name. So you give the full name here. Then invoke. Party type you don't need to specify. 1 minute. Let me check in the mapping from where it is getting the party type. Customer subcategory. So customer subcategory. Okay, anyway default value is this, right? So I don't need to mention. Kickoff. CKR. So this is SFA. Okay. Yeah, so last update date is also mandatory here. You need to mention the last update date plus the source system. So mention value for last update date. I don't know the format. Last update date. What is the date format? So if I just invoke it, Informatica will tell you the format. That the format should be DD. This is the format. So you give the date in this format 010101. Sorry, 2010. Let's say 010101, and the name will be Sunil Cleanse put, and first name is Sunil Cleanse. Let me invoke insert. Okay, record was inserted, and if I check it, there are two records now. This is Sunil Cleanse put, second one, right? Sunil Cleanse put. Okay, that's what is the cleanse put operation. So put, cleanse put, and let's see some other APIs. Important if APIs will be, this is important, but I'll show this in the end because this is used to truncate the data. Then here two APIs are important. Execute batch delete. This is used to hard delete records. So if you want to delete single records, let's say 4-5 records, only 4-5 records, you use this one. If you want to truncate, you use clean table. Okay, execute batch delete. So let's see the execute batch delete. One minute, yeah, till this. See, this is slightly different. Okay, let's say if I want to delete these two record, let's delete these two record. Okay, so if I want to delete these two record, what I need to do here is, let's say underscore xref. Okay, then you type like row id underscore xref. What you need to do is you need to create a temporary table, create table t as this. So now this table will contain the row id xref of two values, right? What I need to do here is, it's very simple. I will go here, and this is t, and this is base underscore object dot c underscore party. Execute. Base object dot c underscore. One second, just check the documentation once. Execute batch. You just see what is mandatory, what is not. Specifies the base object name, specifies the table that contains the list of cross reference. So this is correct. Okay, okay. So the problem here is, this is the only place where you don't need to give the base object dot. Okay, you can remove the base object dot, directly give this. Okay, so you can see two records, two records. So now these two records are gone. If you check here, deleted. They are deleted from the cross reference. They are deleted from here as well. That is called as hard delete in MDM. That is how you do hard delete. Okay, then you have something called as execute batch unmerge. So you have execute batch unmerge, which is same as this one. The way you call the execute batch delete, same way you call the execute batch unmerge. Same thing. The only difference is execute batch unmerge is used to unmerge the records. This is used to delete. Otherwise, it's the method is same. Okay. If you do any change in trust, you need to call BVT and BO. These jobs you need to call. If you change any trust settings, if data is there and you change the trust, you need to call these two. They will again calculate the master record or the best version of truth. Flag for unmerge, very simple. Basically used to flag a particular record. So let's say if a record is queued for manual merge, then you can flag that record for auto merge. So what will happen technically? Technically, what will happen is, you have a match table. In the match table, there is something called as auto merge indicator. That is 0 for manual merge. It will simply change that to 1. That's it. That's all what this will do. Okay. Then right, generate constraints, register index, and merge unmerge. This APIs, remaining APIs, some of the APIs which I've said is important, I'll just otherwise put it down here. APIs that are important, let's say if I have to put it, clean table, execute batch delete, batch delete, execute batch unmerge, then execute recalculate. Then you have generate constraints and register custom index. And get trust score. This is also slightly important. Get trust score. The usage is very simple. Okay, to get the trust value, go here, invoke it. Okay, how to use that? You just check the guide once. Okay, get trust. Okay, get trust. So you need to specify the column ID and the record. So the column ID is like this, column dot like this, column ID. I will say this is party table, C underscore party, first name let's say, and row ID object is let's say one. Can remove that. Okay, then kick off. Change this here. Trust is 20. Okay, for display name, trust is 20. Okay, so very simple. If you understood how to do one API, you can do the remaining thing. So get trust score. That is also important. Then you have merge, multi-merge. Very simple operations. Merge, multi-merge. You can try this later. It's very simple only. Then you have unmerge. Used for unmerging a single record. So total these are the list of APIs. You can count how much, like somewhere around 16 APIs. You can say like 15 APIs. These are the APIs that are important. So you concentrate on these APIs and you practice a bit more on these APIs. The more you will get on documentation. If you want to understand more on, let's say, get API. Okay. So how to use the get API? There's a lot of theoretical part. First of all, see, try to understand that this SIF, you can see it's a separate 160 page guide, and SIF is something that will be separate dedicated developers for SIF. Normally a hub developer will not work in SIF. Okay, there will be a dedicated person who will work on SIF, and because I mean all these things to how to do that and all these things, first of all, frankly speaking, you should read all this before doing it, but I have already summarized all these things, so that's okay. Okay, so you go through this. Let's say if you want to use it, you go through this and see what are the mandatory things, mandatory parameters and optional parameters, and accordingly you need to invoke it. Okay, so you go through this practice, then we'll see later, right? And normally you will use only some APIs, in the sense you will use these APIs, that is uh, day-to-day activity you might use this might be necessary. Get search query might be necessary. Clean table, execute batch, delete, this might be necessary, and remaining APIs you will use only when it is necessary. Okay, so go through this and install the soap tool and try to practice this, then it will be clear. Okay, okay guys, thanks then.